There's 8 bosses? Oh, well.
Oh, really? Well, they had 5 that they switched the names on, so...
Well, now I need to
I've never played Mega Man X5.
Well, yeah, 'cause it's a circle and in the middle is Dr. Wily.
Oh, well, they can't rename Dr. Wily. But yeah, they could absolutely do King Giz references then. Somebody in chat said, which King Giz album should I listen to if I want to get into King Giz? I would start with either Nonagon Infinity or I'm in Your Mind Fuzz. And then there's...
Oh, not mentioned in that story? Izzy Glow, renamed from Shining Firefly. Squid Adler from Volt Kraken. And the Skeever, renamed from Spiral Pegasus. Duff McWhalen.
Oh, so bad. I mean, mine were like no better. I actually went with worse puns so I could leave both drummers out, so I could make a 2 drummers reference at the end there.
Duff McWhalen.
That sounds like something The Simpsons would have done in the 90s.
It's so good.
I mean, that's not that weird for a Mega Man character, just like...
His weapon is the goo shaver. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, it means if you got any goo... Like, you know how they make pasta? Right? And then it's just like, they just like force a slug of dough into like the nozzles and it like all extrudes out.
Up to 3
like some sort of nightmare.
Up to 3 goo shavers can be on screen at a time.
It's just a lot of pasta being cut off, and they just like go, and then the noodles get cut off, and then they get dried or whatever like that. That's basically a goo shaver, I think, is the thing that snips pasta after it comes out of the nozzle. Oh no, we missed it. You missed it. That's okay. You can't just say goo shaver like it's a thing, Graham. Says
I'm reading the wiki. It sends out a small wave of icy gel on the floor.
That's so you don't feel the goo being shaved.
Get some icy hot gel.
Well, you need shaving gel, right? You don't want to shave without goo.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, everybody. Hopefully I sound okay.
Let me move over.
We are critically low on microphone clips.
Yeah, doing 2 PPRs back to back is really
has really effed our microphone clips.
Yeah.
We had a lot of microphone clips.
And now they're all gone and broken?
Most of them.
No, well, we have 2 microphones without clips.
We have fewer working clips than are necessary to run both rooms at the same time.
Yeah.
This one doesn't even, like this one's not even got the clip. It's just sitting in the clippy part.
No.
No reason why it can't. Is it the thing broken?
No, it's broken.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
Paul ordered a bunch more microphone clips.
Yep, we have like 30.
Oh, they're on their way. It's just
for some reason they're being shipped from I don't know somewhere far away that is not Amazon Prime. So they're taking way longer than they should to arrive.
Replacement lav clips should be easy to find. Oh, they're easy to find.
Well,
they're just...
Well...
Part of the problem is that these lavs don't work with the standard clips. So we had to get clips that are a little different.
Expensive.
And so the clips that actually... The clips from Shure for the official clips for these microphones, for one thing...
Are not that great.
Are not great.
No, they're kind of shit.
Are very expensive.
Yeah, they're like $5 a piece, aren't they?
It's more like, it's like $15 for 2 or something.
Seriously?
Yeah. They're stupid expensive. And you can't buy them from anywhere in the States because they can't be imported into Canada. You can buy them from Canadian sources, but for some reason you can't import anything from Shure.
Those sound very 3D printable.
I think the tolerances would be too small for, depending on what the 3D printer is.
You need the spring part, though.
Yeah, the spring is the important part there.
I guess if you have like a thin piece of plastic, perhaps. Anyway, so you can get obviously third-party clips. Unfortunately, to fit these particular microphones, you can't just use any third-party clips. The ones that I ordered are, I guess, were back ordered or something.
We might not be the only people who love these clips.
We are currently behind. We are currently waiting, and have been for like 3 weeks.
I just like taped the mic to my skin when we were doing the.
That's typically how they work when you're trying to do them and have them obscured.
Yeah, I was just like whatever and like taped it under. Was I even just wearing this and just like taped it under the side? I don't know. When we did the crap shoot, and it worked fine. Nobody complained.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah.
You know where they were during RoadQuest? Taped to their chests.
Yeah.
Under the shirts.
Yep.
Yep.
That's typically how they're done.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you want to actually like hide it.
Yeah.
As
you ever seen an episode of Dirty Jobs where Mike Rowe has to take his shirt off? And
yeah,
he's just got like a huge like bandage-looking thing on his.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his mic.
Yeah.
Sternum mic.
Tape. We try not to tape them to the nipples. No.
All right.
When does RoadQuest come out?
Eventually.
Eventually. It's a lot of editing, guys. We have a plan. We have people who are doing it, but it's going to take them a while, and we don't want them to rush it. We want them to do a good job. So.
All right. So, stuff we talked about.
I feel like the stuff we talked about is quite self-explanatory. Like, especially the story about the Mega Man bosses. We heard it twice, if you missed any parts of that. So,
yeah, the Sony crossplay thing is just, it's just that quote from Sean Layden. It's just, I'm confident we'll get to a solution which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community. I doubt that very much.
That does not give me a lot of hope.
Yeah. I do like that Sony, one of the like excuses Sony has thrown up, because they keep coming up with different various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big ones that they've talked about is that like they can't guarantee the whatever, you know, safety and suitability of online interactions, you know, if they don't want to like expose their community to the ruffians in all the other console communities, like those scary Nintendo people. Who knows what they could be getting up to? Probably no good.
Yeah. The Switch firmware story was really funny, just because it's like putting anti-piracy code into your hacked firmware seems like such a antithetical maneuver.
Yeah, it's like any like very marginal, questionable high ground that you claim by sort of being like, you know, we're opening it up and like, you know, now you can play homebrew games and it's more free and open and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's various arguments back and forth about that kind of stuff. But any possible high ground you had, completely gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, don't give your money to these people. Like, I just feel like somebody who's like hacking Switch firmware maybe doesn't have your best financial interests at heart. Maybe they're not the most ethical people.
We saw some stuff on Gamasutra about something that is perhaps a story, but there's like not much.
There's no context to it yet.
There yet. Basically, a bunch of indie developers have recently noticed a massive drop, like 80%, in the install rates of their apps. And it's like, well, people, like, fluctuations happen all the time. Never this amount, and not to a bunch of people all at once. Like,
and I think it was like June 23rd, I think it was, is when it, and then just suddenly, poof.
Yeah, like applications that had previously seen like around 20,000 installs every day with, you know, ups and downs, you know, but averaging 20,000 every day, it's just suddenly 5. And it was startling for these developers, being like, but this is how I make my money, so what's going on? And again, this was happening to a bunch of developers, and
developers that have been in the store for like, you know, since its inception, or like for like 8 years or 5 years, or, you know, like people who have been through many cycles of
Yeah.
development.
No, this is not on Steam. This is specifically the Google Play Store.
Yeah, so this is Android.
And so basically there's a specific developer Discord that they set up for this, and there's some forum posts that you can read where all the devs are sort of communicating on it. And the most recent update from a couple days ago is just that Google is aware of the issue and is investigating.
Yeah.
But still nothing firm about, like, not even like, they say they're aware of it and are investigating, but they haven't said that's not supposed to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They haven't even given them that. They haven't given these developers oh, that's weird. All they've said is, we will look into this.
And so, of course, the concern is that, like, this is the new world order, I guess. This is like how that whatever change that they've made
to the algorithm.
And there's speculation, which Google doesn't really, as a matter of course, and there's actually good reasons for it, but Google doesn't really talk about how the searching algorithms work.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just sort of say, like, oh, just make sure that your app is really high quality and it'll rise to the top. But that does not appear to be the case at the moment. So they hope various devs are still sort of hoping that this is going to be one of those things that just kind of works itself out after a little bit, or that it's still being tweaked or whatever. Because if it is not that, and this is actually how the App Store is going to operate going forward, whatever change they made is actually a permanent change, then there's a lot of people who are going to be very sad.
Mm-hmm. The Steam Spy has noticed, because this came up a lot when Steam Greenlight was going away, that people were getting a hold of us and being like, oh, what about Watch and Play? And we said, don't worry, there'll be plenty of stuff. And then Steam Direct came out. They replaced Greenlight with Direct, and it was like, oh no, that's going to be way harder for people to put garbage on Steam.
Never fear, garbage purveyors.
Steam Direct is seeing 180 games released on Steam every week, which is over twice as many as were released during Greenlight. Mm-hmm. So
Valve,
it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, Valve is really coming down on, we are not curating at all effectively.
Yeah.
Of course, as we know from previous stories, except when they are.
Yes.
Which is a shame.
Mm-hmm. There's an interesting article on Kotaku about Japan's video game bars, which have been around for years and very successful, and are only now sort of starting to run afoul of laws surrounding
like gambling and drinking.
No, that's what it is here.
Yeah.
Right. That's the BC. We live in British Columbia, Canada. The BC liquor laws. You can't have like a video game bar because they consider gaming. Any gaming is gambling. You can't have that in the same place as alcohol. It's very weird here.
You can't have alcohol and also have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to drink in silence.
Yeah.
Because we still have this weird, like, Puritan thing.
Drink in the dark alone. But it's rules surrounding it's a public display of copyrighted content. It's that you are. It's the same as showing a pay-per-view in a bar that you can do if you have a license for it. But if you're not, then that's not allowed by the terms and conditions. And so there have been arrests made recently.
Yeah.
There have been stings
like
in Japan of video game bars for publicly basically showing a video game to a bunch of people in a bar.
I mean, it's one of those things like a Let's Play video or something where it's like, technically, yeah, I mean, this does sort of violate the letter of the thing, but it's been going for many, many, many years and nobody cared. And now just suddenly everything's cracking down.
Yeah.
With no the real concern was that there didn't seem to be any like rhyme or reason to what was being cracked down on.
Yeah.
Although people who were making like newer games available seem to be getting hit more.
How's a video game bar different from an arcade? Well, you can drink.
Yeah.
You can't drink in an arcade.
Yeah.
And
Arcades are for children.
Someone was saying, what about like pool or darts or pub trivia? No, those are fine.
It's
because the people who make the laws understand those.
Yeah.
You have pool in a pub, obviously.
Yes, that's the kind of game that you have in a pub.
What if we have like an Xbox, the Street Fighter? Sounds pretty similar to a slot machine to me.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Liquor laws are very odd. I mean, and I don't think that's not even just like a BC thing. In every place usually has really dumb
Red Shoes Jeff.
Things around liquor laws.
It's not a short ride.
British Columbia is not a short boat ride from Japan. The Pacific Ocean is very, very big.
It's like a 9-hour flight.
It's a 9-hour plane. It would be a many, many, many weeks on a boat.
Well, like 2 probably.
Depending on the kind of boat, I guess.
I looked into it on for the Loading Ready Live segment, where it's like you could win a cruise on a cargo ship.
Yeah, it's the trick with. I feel like almost everywhere, especially in North America, has really weird laws surrounding the sale of liquor because of all sorts of weird historical hang-ups about it.
We've only had non-government run like beer and wine stores. Like when I was much younger, before I cared, you could only buy alcohol at the BC liquor store, like government-run liquor. You couldn't buy them at the grocery store. You could only buy them at these things. They've since allowed independent liquor stores to happen that you can buy beer and wine and liquor there. You still can't buy them at the grocery store, but at least there's places that can actually buy more interesting things than the options at the government store. But it's slow going. Let's put it that way.
The
government sold people alcohol? Yes.
Yeah, my imagination of like the government liquor store, which is called like the BC liquor store, is that like you would go in and it's just like shelves and shelves and shelves of like generic like white, like a white can that just says beer, and then like a bottle that has like whiskey or vodka.
The government beer. Yes.
It's like it's like weird generic brand. It is not like that. Anyway,
Brainbosh, wherever Brainbosh lives, they says we still have no liquor sold between 12 a.m. and noon on Sundays.
My favorite was I went to visit some friends in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh yeah, right.
And which is a dry county.
Oh.
Which, from a practical standpoint, means that there is no liquor sold in the county, and the county is ringed by a halo of drive-through liquor stores.
Because it's a dry county.
Because you can have alcohol in the county, you just can't buy it in the county.
So it's just like, where's county line? Right here. Great. Build up to there.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Just the concept of a drive-through liquor store seems highly problematic.
Wow.
Anyway.
You couldn't have that here. We'd also not allow that in British Columbia, but I feel like that's not us being fuddy-duddies like the video game bar thing. I think that's us having basic common sense.
All right. What else we got going on here?
There's a data miner discovered what he believes to be an axed PvP mode in Dark Souls 3.
This is the same guy, by the way,
who found the
stuff in Bloodborne.
The supposed axed boss rush mode.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of inference in this, but it's not necessarily totally out there, considering Dark Souls 1 and 2 both had like explicit PvP arenas.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the idea was that there's a sword. There's 2 swords that you can get. One of which appears to, it like makes a thing dark, or makes like this area dark, and then there's another sword that's like, you activate it, and you theoretically get teleported to
it's called
a place that's made dark.
The Moonlight Ceremony.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
But
The
yeah,
Moonlight Ceremony. I'm gonna put that in a D&D campaign.
the idea that sort of fighting with like groups of people fighting rather than just like one or two people invading somebody else's game.
Yeah, there's a version of the wall from the alpha that is playable. While not looking, I'm just reading from the Kotaku article here. While doesn't look that different from the finished version, McDonald explored it in his video during a Moonlight Ceremony, a special event he was able to conjure using mysterious items buried in the alpha build's code. The Ceremony Sword of Darkness, the Ceremony Sword of Flame, and the Ceremony Sword of Battle Royale Eclipse. When used, perform the ceremony to envelop the world in darkness. For playable version, select this item to perform an eclipse ceremony. And it looked like it was probably just a multiple, rather than just like 1v1. It would look like it was like an explicit like
sort of arena thing.
Yeah, like 2v2, go, that sort of thing. So not battle royale.
It's funny to think about, but
I don't believe they were planning a battle royale.
It's probably not battle royale.
Could you imagine in Dark Souls? Goodness
It's fun
me.
to think about. Yeah. Just like you start and everyone comes in on whatever the equivalent of a plane is for Dark Souls.
Yeah.
A dragon, I guess, jumps off and then just runs around whacking each other for a while.
Hey, Barack Obama is in the new Shaq Fu.
Yeah.
Barack Fu, The Adventures of Dirty Barry, is a free add-on to the new Shaq Fu. I don't think you need to know any more than that.
I think that's a thing that can appeal to you if you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Something I was considering doing as a story, but it's
not really a story.
The story was going to be that it's not a story. According to Deadline, again, this is much like the PUBG thing. Everyone is referencing this one Deadline article. It's an exclusive. According to Deadline, sources say that Jim Carrey is negotiating to play Dr. Eggman in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Like a live action / CGI Smurfs kind of.
It is not Jim Carrey is playing Eggman in a Sonic movie. It is sources say that Jim Carrey is negotiating to play.
The fact there's a live action / CGI Sonic movie is happening.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the question is who's going to be in it,
I think
not whether it exists.
I think Jim Carrey would do a good job in that role.
I think so too.
He contorts his face well, and he's great at scenery chewing, which is what you expect from a man named Ivo Robotnik.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Great job. Good pickup.
I think he would probably be improve the overall quality of the film. I think the film would still be bad.
Yes.
in the same way as I think he probably improved the quality of, say, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I think him in that role was probably better than most other people would be in that role.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was not a good movie.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think Jim Carrey has enough money and has that he only just works when he wants to, and he mostly just hangs out and paints.
That is correct.
And dates
He's
crazy women.
He's a very interesting fellow. The episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jim Carrey was very interesting.
I'll check that out.
And also, of course, the documentary about him doing Man on the Moon is amazing.
Right.
Where he basically went insane.
Yeah.
For during the process and effectively considered himself to be taken over by the ghost of
Andy Kaufman.
Of Andy Kaufman. Yeah.
Very method.
But not in a useful way.
Yeah, no. Method in a scary kind of scary way.
Yeah.
To the point and he scaring for him as well. Apparently it was a very odd experience. He's still an anti-vaxxer.
Is he still?
I don't think so.
Well,
I feel like that was mostly
I want him to not be.
Jenny McCarthy was crazy.
I want him to not be, but I
don't really care what Jim Carrey thinks. You should vaccinate your children. Don't listen to me because
here's our hot take.
Don't listen to me for the same reason you shouldn't listen to Jim Carrey. You should do research and speak to a doctor or a nurse. I think that's the important thing. Don't listen to anybody because they're famous. Listen to somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Anyway.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much all there was for stuff. Oh, I was saying that there's a neat thing there's a neat thing happening in Overwatch that was added in the latest.
Yeah, you can
update.
Oh yeah.
It's got it's designed
Not
to
the
reduce
hamster.
toxicity in the game,
They added a hamster.
and it's great. No, they added.
And everyone was
No.
like, "Oh, I can't be mad now."
It's a thing where you can queue, and you can be like, I want to queue as this player, so you don't have to like play as a player you don't like to play, or as a character you don't like to play for team comp reasons, and you can't like look at other people's match history anymore. So you can't be like, well, I'm a better player than you, so you should do what I do, which was like apparently a big problem in the community, is that people would be like, well, I've won more matches than you, so what the fuck are you doing? I'm going to play Hanzo even though we have 6 other Hanzos on the team, or 5 other Hanzos. How many people are on Overwatch team? 6? Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but the now you give like ratings to people.
Yeah.
You can give them sort of positive marks in terms of like how nice they are.
And you can choose to only queue with people who have like above a certain threshold of positivity.
Yeah.
So you can be like, I don't want to play with assholes. And hopefully that encourages people who don't have good ratings to be nicer, so they'll get good ratings so they don't have to wait so long to queue. Basically, somebody said, PM Ever says, so basically Heart of the Storm quick match. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, apparently it borrows a lot of stuff from like what they're doing in like League of Legends and.
So actually, and as Fox was saying, you can rate people. So to be fair, to be clear, you could previously, and you can still rate people. You can give people like play of the game or whatever. Like you can, there's marks that you can give people for how well they played. But then this is like a separate thing where you can also give marks for whether they were communicative or whether they were, whether they were useful as a teammate, I guess, or like being.
It's endorsements.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the word.
But you can't be like, play was trash.
Yeah.
Always forced Hanzo.
So theoretically, there's some benefit there. As I've seen a lot of people talking about, that it's like, at least in this first sort of week or so that it's been around, it seems to be a positive move. How well it actually will work in the long term, it's hard to tell. But my favorite thing is some people talking about how it's created a situation where there's a lot of sort of quote unquote sort of fake positivity, in the sense of like people being like disingenuously positive,
Right.
Which I guess is not great, but it's a lot better than being not good, not positive.
Ha! This guy sucked at staying on the payload, so I'm going to give him a commendation for being on the payload all the time. Ha! What an idiot. Other people are just like, oh, that guy's on the payload all the time. It's not. Anyway.
Yeah.
WCD content. What is WCD? Thanks for the invite. I don't know what that is or where it is, so we probably can't make it. But that is going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because I got much to do before Dice Friends tonight, which is our friend Rodney Thompson is going to be in town running us through another game of Dusk City Outlaws.
Who's
the game
playing Dusk
he designed.
City Outlaws?
I will double check on Slack. And not only did he design Dusk City Outlaws, he was part of the team behind D&D 5th Edition, and he designed Lords of Waterdeep. So, if you haven't seen Dusk City Outlaws, it's fun. There it is. Myself, Adam, Beej, and someone else. That's only 3 people.
It was going to be Ben, but he's
sick.
He's under the weather.
Right.
So we're
trying to figure out if we can find a 4th.
Okay. But anyway, for the moment, let's welcome all these wonderful people who subscribed during the stream.
Yeah.
Starting with Reneko for 39 months. 39 months, that's more than last time.
And Amen! Why not go in a circle, Graham?
Okay.
Instead of going backwards.
I don't. Roan678 with the 58-month resub. Welcome back.
The way we're all facing.
Terra Spidermorphy for 3 months. No, not even close.
Jay Flang for 21 months says,
Shaking my
there's
head.
a heat wave here and I'm boiling to death. Please find a way to blame this on EA. The way we're facing now, we're running left to right rather than right to left, which seems anti-clockwise to me.
Karfsma778 with a 15-month resub. Points? Oh, they're going to be checked. And me, I'm going to be giving you Bezos' money again. Also, thanks to people who kept my sub going while I was broke. Hey,
Yay.
Cheers.
Vanquisher for 6 months. Or, I've grown a little bored with Explosion Day here.
Ease, an insect for 28 months says, can't keep up the streams at the moment because of work, but I love all your content. Keep up the investigative journalism? What?
Thank you. I am Clockwork with a 49-month resub. 49 months, like clockwork. Also, been given a lot of gift subs recently, and I appreciate it.
Friendly Fire TV for 7 months. Thank you all for your wonderful content and your positive influence.
Thank you. Kathleen?
Simon 40 Russell for 21 months says, 21 months of lure that I greatly appreciated in these trying times when Love Island is the alternative.
Matt Lay. Yeah, 35 with a 16-month resub. Skirt, skirt.
Krokar for 4 months. 4 months already. What even is time?
It's Hop Pole Studios for 17 months says, 17 months is huge. Still waiting on the baby. 9 months and 3 days now. For people asking about King Gizzard, maybe check out Crumbling Castle. Yay again, that is a very good song.
Malix1, a brand new sub. Welcome to the channel. And thanks, Condon.
Lavender Extract for 23 months.
So Cello Bear 613 is a new subscriber.
Alexander the Mediocre, a brand new sub. Welcome. Join us.
Cursed Human for 29 months.
Maybe don't join them. They're cursed. Saya Oragaya for 6 months says 6 months. Also, I'm heading down to the Magic pre-release on Saturday for the first time in a decade. So I guess the LRR MTG Infect deck has claimed another victim.
Muse Frog, a new subscriber, gifted Hey by I Am Clockwork. Thank you.
Anime Kitty 93 for 4 months. Your liquor laws make me glad I have a barcade in Portland.
I've been to a barcade in Portland. It was great.
Bronze Finger for 54 months says Happy Canada Day, and great job, Hodor, at getting the YouTubes up to date. Go.
First big hungry one with a 19-month resub. Welcome back. Thank you.
Ghost Valve for 3 months. Make sure to release your ghosts.
Unpronounceable is a new subscriber gifted by I Am Clockwork.
And thanks for the 200 bits from Foxmar320, Valhalla Knight, and Kamote Top.
Awesome.
Yay. All right, so we're going away, but not for very long. And when we come back, we'll have a very cool game to play this evening.
Kavil RM with a brand new sub. With a 5-month resub. Welcome back, Kavil.
Getting in there under the line.
Thank you.
So thanks, everybody, so much. Somebody's
gotta
knocking
go.
at the door. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you in a little bit. Wait, wrong button.
It's